Government. His Excellency is always available and willing and desirous responding to your questions. All are geared towards ensuring responsible and responsive governance. Geared towards ensuring people-oriented governance. We're already seeing many parts of some of these engagements. His Excellency doesn't hesitate to sweep and respond to the demands of the people. And we are taking the impacts everywhere. And tonight, we're going to listen to you, take your feedbacks. Happy as possible. These developments were expected to go straight to your questions. We are not going to observe too many protocols. So everybody is expected to go straight to your questions so that it will be your time. Now we are witnessing the arrival of His Excellency for yet another edition of the Oti Speaks to my heads. His Excellency is still going to respond to your questions and take your feedbacks as usual. The national anthem is. Abians Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, you are welcome, and thank you for your patience, thank you for your understanding, and of course, thank you for your solidarity as His Excellency did the needful at house today. It was earth-shaking. Once again, you're welcome to this edition. Without much ado, I will yield the microphone to His Excellency for his opening remarks, as we do yet another edition of the media chat. Thank you. You're welcome.
Good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press, Abians who are joining us remotely from their homes and other parts of the country. I want to welcome you to the March edition of our monthly media chat. I want to start by apologizing that this is starting 1 hour late. You know, it's not in our character for this to start late. We are just coming from Abia State University into where we had the 30th to the 32nd convocation ceremony, where some 10,500 people graduated, and 3 honorary doctorate degrees were also given to 3 Nigerians. And to cap it all, hostels and other buildings that have been completed were commissioned, and the faculties of agriculture and law, and then the 5,000 bed hostels. We also flagged off the construction. We flagged off for the 5,000 bed hostel for females and another 5,000 for male students. We capped it up with the foundation laying ceremony for the International Secondary School at the university. So that's where we're coming from. So apologies that we're starting late, but we will try to be as business-like as possible without leaving behind important issues. So once again, welcome. It has been a busy 1 month since the last time we met, and to the glory of God, things continue looking up. In the area of agriculture, we secured a transaction with Presco. Presco is easily one of the biggest integrated agricultural firms in the world, and they have committed to investing $200 million in palm planting and processing business in 4 locations in Abia State, measuring over 14,000 hectares of land. The land has been identified, and very soon that project will start, and the government is very happy about that. And that's in addition to qualification for the SAPZ project, co-funded between African Development Bank and Islamic Development Bank. I think it's a $350 million project for a few states. We missed out in the first phase, but we have been favorably considered for the second phase. So the I's and E's are being dotted and crossed, and very soon that would flag off at Okwa West, very close to the Abia Innovation and Industrial Park. Talking about the Abia Innovation and Industrial Park, we had extensive meetings within the month to see that that project kicks off smoothly. And very soon, some changes are going to be made to ensure a smooth kickoff. All the partners that had indicated interest partnering with us are still very serious. Some of them have gotten to the level of final investment decisions. And we are very, very enthusiastic about having the AIIB properly kick off. But don't forget that it's a long-term project involving modular refinery, renewable energy, gas projects, fertilizer projects, chemicals. So it's an integrated innovation and industrial park. But we're happy that we're making some progress, even if it is slowly. In terms of infrastructure, we continue to push the frontiers. Over 30 projects on contract are moving well, and a whole lot more on direct level are also moving well, particularly given that we have had dry weather. Just 2 days ago, we had a meeting with African Development Bank, Federal Ministry of Finance, and Islamic Development Bank for the Abia State Integrated Development Program, ABSID. And a few of the naughty areas we try to untie them with the last meeting we had, and hopefully I have given a deadline of April for us to kickstart that multi-million-dollar project, which involves a lot of roads and other infrastructure projects. So I'm happy that that is also going very, very well. We probably may also have realized or noted that just 2 days ago, we commissioned a project in Abia, Osisioma, a beverage plant set up by the Kaji Group, and also employed by some of the soil engineers and the farmer. This project started in November 2023, and after the final investment decision was taken, it took them just about 10 months to set up the factory, which is already producing. So we commissioned a $35 million plant 2 days ago, and they are committed to expanding the project. Phase 2, I understand, will be delivered in July this year, and that will take another $35 million, and the balance of $40 million will be committed to phase 3. The whole idea is to produce everything within Abia and cover the rest of the nation, quite unlike the original plan to set up 3 or 4 factories in Nigeria. We are happy that we are able to convince them through superior logic that it makes more sense to have a large factory, produce, and then distribute to other parts of the country. Our interest is in job creation, in GDP growth, and in poverty reduction. Of course, contribution to IGR will follow at a later date after they have finished enjoying their tax holiday. In the area of healthcare, we continue to functionalize the primary healthcare centers, 200 of them that we have completed, but we are taking our time to ensure that minimum standards are met. So what we do is that the primary healthcare center is ready, does not need to be commissioned. It's only commissioned when we have the required equipment and the required healthcare professionals. I'm sure you remember that we gave approval to hire 771 healthcare professionals based on our assessment of the need. But you agree that that is an area where competition is very high. Not just with other states, not just with the federal government, but with other countries like Canada and the US. Just yesterday, one of our senior healthcare professionals who runs one of the tertiary healthcare institutions met with me and handed me a green card that was issued by the United States government. So, unfortunately, we can't keep him or her because as we even speak, one of the children has been located there. So that is the competition that we are dealing with. So after that exercise, I think we were only able to hire about 569 healthcare professionals out of the 771. So that has meant that we are not able to meet the needs of all the healthcare, primary healthcare centers that we have completed. So I've asked the Honorable Commissioner for Health and then the Civil Service Commission Chairman to keep the portal open and have those who are interested continue to apply until we get to the required number. Be that as it may, the phase 2 of Project Equipment should be rolled out any moment from now, but we try to slow that down because the project, phase 2 will be another 200 primary healthcare centers to be retrofitted. So there may be a little delay, but that notwithstanding, we have promised that we will not stop until the 948 primary healthcare centers have been touched. Thank God, 77 have been also retrofitted by the World Bank, and we are very grateful to them. We also working to ensure that we probably keep them. But by the time we functionalize the 277 primary healthcare centers, one thing you can take for granted is that there is no ward out of the 184 electoral wards we have in Abia State that a modern primary healthcare center does not exist. You may also have seen We are trying to digitalize services in the primary health care centers. We started with a few in Omaya, Ecuador, and the like. And the whole idea is that every information is stored digitally, and what we call telemedicine. A doctor may be in Omaya and look at your issue and prescribe medication and solution without necessarily sitting across the table with you, given the challenges we are having with recruiting healthcare professionals. So that is going well. At the tertiary level, we also do well. I think at the last count, about 5 or 6 general hospitals that are undergoing either renovation or retrofitting, and an additional one in Upper East, which is a brand new general hospital for which work has started, will be delivered before the end of the year. At the tertiary level, work is also going on at the Abia State University Teaching Hospital, at the specialist hospital in Amacha, and the specialist hospital at Unato. The work going on in those hospitals are very extensive. So the last time I looked at Abia State University Teaching Hospital, it was clear to me that I didn't need to put the contractors under pressure because there's a lot of work. So we are taking it in our stride, but I can assure you that it's going very, very well. Just yesterday, I got information that the state received a donation of a magnetic resolution imaging, also known as MRI. Unfortunately, the state had no MRI machine prior to this time. So I want to use this opportunity to publicly thank the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints that spent $1 million to donate a state-of-the-art MRI machine to Abia State. And I have told some of my colleagues that what we need to do is to set up a modern diagnostic center in Abia State University Teaching Hospital, where that machine will be resident. So we know that that is what that place is for. And of course, we can support with x-rays and the ones that we can afford. So very soon, we got the order for the machines, for the MRI has already been placed. And I think the funds have been released by the church. I want to thank members of the team who worked very hard to attract this huge investment to the state. On education, other than what I reported earlier about Abia State University, and of course today again we were able to restore power, public power, to Abia State University because we had been in the process of building a 5 megawatts substation. And just last night, that substation was delivered. So we had the honor and privilege to commission and switch up a substation. So anytime there is power in the grid, Abia State University will have power. I understand they haven't had power, public power, in the last several years, dating more than a decade. So we're happy that that has been resolved. But then we also have another solution that is coming, and that is an independent power of about 50 megawatts, which will be powered by gas turbines. We just signed up for that. It will take a little bit of time, but by the time it's done, Abia State University will decide to detach from the national grid. Of course, the rest of the states will also be detaching from the national grid by the time we are done with the solutions we are trying to provide from geometric in Abia. Still talking about power, we've continued to restore power in different parts of the state. The last time I was in Abia East, I also gave instruction to the Commissioner for Power to ensure that Abia East, I think about 22 communities thereabout, get connected to Abia Power Limited. Then, good news from the Ministry of Arts, Culture and Creative Economy. I understand that just a few hours ago that they signed an agreement with the federal government to partner and renovate and refurbish the Ojukwu bunker and the National War Museum. That's very good news. We've been on it. So I want to use this opportunity to thank the Honorable Commissioner and his team who have worked very hard on this. Thank you for the job, and please know that the reward for good job is more work. So get on it and let us get that delivered as quickly as possible. We have three agencies: Greater Abia Development Agency, Greater Alafia Development Agency, and then Omayakato Development Agency. And I'm glad to report that they are all doing well. Last month we were able to flag off the reconstruction of the Abia Hotel in partnership with Radisson Blu. We hope that very soon we will also flag up the leisure and entertainment center at the back of Abia Hotel, which is being handled by a landmark. And of course, part of the Radisson Blu job is also to set up a second building that will house about 130 rooms from the 120 rooms from the old Abia Hotel, and then finally to set up an international conference center. And those are the next stages. But I'm told, I checked yesterday, and I'm told the work is going on very well at the Abia Hotel. I'm hopeful that in 12 months, that the first phase of 120 rooms will be opened for public use. We are also at advanced stages in discussions with another 5-star brand that will be taking up the new government house that was built at the Grube layout. And the reason is that sure you can see the work is going on very quickly in this place, which we decided is the ideal place for a government house. Because the government house is not moving from here, so since it's not moving, we've decided to hand over the other building to a hotel chain. So by the time the agreements are concluded, you will get to know which 5-star brand we are talking about. But I'm sure you will be happy about it. The Umuahia Central Bus Terminal is gradually being completed. The entire place is being cleaned up now. And by the time it's done, we will start pilot activities and eventually commission it. But the information coming to me is that the place is looking beautiful for those who have visited the place. If you haven't, I think there is nothing stopping you from visiting the place. You are allowed to do that. I also want to talk a little bit about the Abia International Airport. The construction of the runway is going on smoothly, and just 2 weeks ago, the Nigerian Air Force visited me and requested for a larger piece of land at the airport, which I immediately considered. I gave instructions for, I think, 200 hectares of land to be made available, and I think that has been done. So that the Nigerian Air Force training school at the base will be here in Abia. The property we secured for them in Abia is getting completed in terms of renovation, and we have agreed that by next month, the base which had been approved by the Nigerian Air Force would come into Umuahia, pending when the airport will be completed. Like I always say, this is a partnership with the federal government. While the state is building the runway, the federal government is in charge of the airport terminal and other things at the airport. We continue to put pressure on the federal government to release funding. Luckily, it is the same contractor building the runway that the federal government awarded the contract to build the terminals and the other part of his own obligation. So hopefully, in no distant time, the airport will be completed and be opened for public use. We continue to remain awake so that all of you can sleep. And I want to thank our security forces for the hard work, for the commitment, for the sacrifices they make for our people. I want to also thank them and thank our people in Abia who, for the way they conducted themselves during the protest. I was called by some people, ordinarily, the way, if it was handled differently, maybe it would have led to a breakdown of law and order. But I'm happy that our security agencies carried out our instruction to the leader. No canister of tear gas was used, no buttons were used. All they did was to provide protective cover to ensure that law and order continue to be maintained. And our people, even those who joined the protest, conducted themselves in an odd manner. That is what it is. Democracy does not forbid protest. But it's just that when I think the law is that you need to notify security agents. Even though these people did not notify security agents, but when we picked it, we worked hard to ensure that everything was peaceful. And even some of the people who participated in the protest had commended the state for the peaceful nature and for the way the security agencies conducted themselves. So I say that we must commend them publicly and commend our people in Abia. That is what democracy is about. We may disagree, but then you must have your say. Somebody must have his way. So having said that, okay, we are still in the process of hiring the next set of teachers, which we are initially supposed to be 4,000. Well, like I said, 36,000 applications we have received, 24,000 we are shortlisted. We are looking for 4,000. But from the information that I got recently from the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, it does appear that we may be actually looking for more than 4,000, given the spike in enrollment. So by the time, I think the computer-based testing has already been done, and when the results start coming out, we will look at our need again to see if we will take more than the 4,000 that we originally planned. I'm glad to report that the remaining leg of the Umuahia, Uzuakode, Iberi, Ankara, Abreba on Hafia Road have now been completed. That remaining leg was delayed a little bit by the contractor, but it's been handed over. Any moment from now, we would commission it. And that makes the total of 67.44 kilometers. And we are happy that the road was done very well, even if there was a delay. Yesterday, we organized a state funeral for one of our fathers in the Lord. Reverend Dr. Mopai was well attended. They have been laid to rest in Ohafia today. And we pray that God would accept his soul in repose. Having said that, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I think I can stop here and throw the floor open for questions and answers. Thank you very much. Over to you, moderators.
Thank you very much, His Excellency. Welcome to the community in charge with the executive of Abia State. We're going straight to the point, and I'm having this program tonight with my
Henry Onyewife of Speed 95.3 FM.
And I'm Joy Nochi of Dawn 103.7 FM. This interaction is airing on BCA 88.1 FM, Flow 94.9 FM, Family Love 99 FM, Magic 102.9 FM, Vision Africa 104.1 FM, Aimba 94.3 FM, Real FM 99.1, Sun 91.3 FM Igori, Sun 91.9 FM Abba.
Also on our list, Zeke 96.3 FM, Speak 95.3 FM, Rapid 96.5 FM, Peseta 103.5 FM, Box 89.7 FM, Masters 105.9 FM, Dom 103.7 FM, and Skills 87.7 FM.
Streaming on major online platforms, we're taking questions from the radio, 3 slots, print media 4 slots, television 3 slots, online 3 slots. Please beg you to go straight to the point. Don't hide under any observation. And we're taking the questions immediately. And let's also read out the SMS line. It's 2907 462 1067 0907 462 1067. First, the radio. Okay, over to you there, on you.
Please, for time's sake, just straight to the point, 2 minutes. One question.
Please, can you hand over the microphone to him? Thank you.
His Excellency, thank you for what you did in my message. I am faithful, Port FM, Obama. His Excellency, I want you to speak on the issue of security. In as much as we appreciate the security milestone achieved by the government, nevertheless, we still have a little complex. Looking at change in some parts of the state, we have been hearing that but nevertheless, we have not come to hear that some herdsmen were captured, or maybe individuals were captured. We are only hearing that the security outfits have been deployed to certain areas and there is peace in the location, but we've never heard that each individual. And we also had some from the communicants that most of them, both for the actual of they fall back to some security outfits who are their brothers. This is what some people in the community are saying. And on same note, we had an interaction with one of the officials along that secretariat area, and we were made to know that they have put a ban to the movement of cattle in some areas of the state, of which the secretariat access was one of them. But
Thank you. Next person, please.
Please, straight to the point.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Patricia Moro, and I work with Flow FM. I bring you greetings from the people of Ukumi in North Local Government, where you built a 3-bedroom bungalow for Mama Macy and after my colleague brought her plight to your notice when we visited her for a charity outreach. Your Excellency, my question is, considering the ongoing crisis within your party, the Labour Party, and the approaching deadline for the conclusion of party primaries in Nigeria, how confident are you in the party's stability to secure your re-election? Alternatively, are you considering defection? And if so, to which party?
Yes. This next person. Yes.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Chukwemeka Igbo from Spain, 95.3 FM. Your Excellency, I want to please bring to your knowledge what is happening at Iguana local government area, where we got reports that the mayor of that local government withheld the salary of a councillor since December, and that the solar powered street lights were put for the councillors. One of them that the mayor refused to release it to the one representing Oboro or two in the area. I don't know if it has come to your knowledge or residence. And it's been happening. I mean, they've been having issues that the government for some time now. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Favor, your question, which was not very clear, and I think I would like to
seek clarity,
draw my own conclusions and attempt to answer it. You just made a lot of statements around security, complaints about herdsmen, and when they are captured, they resort to their relations, security compromise, movement of cattle. So let me try and rearrange this and make a question out of it. You want to know if there's anything the government is doing or can do to tame herdsmen, including arresting them. We are very intolerant to any herdsman destroying people's farms. We also don't encourage people to take the law into their hands, because what typically you will get will be breakdown of law and order. So anytime there are, I would say, sometimes you find that herdsmen are not necessarily outsiders. They are also our brothers and sisters, particularly from some local governments, which you know, who are also herdsmen. So profiling herdsmen as coming from a particular section of the country may not be very correct. So because we also don't discriminate whether you are from the north, the south, the east, or west, if you break the law, we'll treat you as an offender. And if you do well, we also reward you as a good citizen. And that is why even in our recruitment, we are seeing people from other parts of the country who were successfully recruited even at high levels. So if I have specific instances, then we will deal with them. But then the way the question is structured, it's very difficult to respond to it. So permit me to direct you to the Special Advisor on Security, Navy Commander McDonald Obama. You don't even need to go as far as the Chief of Staff is seated here and the SLG is also seated here. So if you have specifics, please let them know. You can write, you can call, you can send SMS or WhatsApp message so that we can deal with them. Patricia, thank you for your very, very kind words about the 3-bedroom flat that was gifted a lady who, I think it was Abia TV, right, that raised that matter. Thank you for raising it. We have tried to rehabilitate her, and information available to me that she's happy. That's the whole essence of government. Now, your question about the Labour Party. Yeah, Labour Party had a problem, but that problem has been resolved by the Supreme Court. And the INEC has also respected the decision of the Supreme Court. So maybe you haven't followed the recent events in the party. So the party is back on its feet and strong very soon. As we speak, the registration is going on. And those who have registered, including Patricia, please register. And you still have window to register. We will be having our congresses leading all the way to convention anytime from now. So, in the light of this superior information, the question about defecting does not arise. And I would also discourage you, that's Patricia, from defecting. Chukwemeka, the question about the Iguana local government, I'm aware of it and I've directed that a resolution happens. I sent the Honorable Commissioner for Finance and the Senior Advocate of Nigeria to Mondobani to sit down and resolve the problem. And I know that if they have not resolved it, they will resolve it any moment from now. So I hope I've answered your question. Thank you very much. Over to you, moderators.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Over to the Prince. Just 4 slots for the Prince. Straight to the point. All right, let's have one person from there.
Thank you, Excellency. Thank you, Excellency. My name is Tibuku of Banga Yusufa. Your Excellency, my question is simple. Now that the debate on state police has ultimately received the attention of the federal government, of course, the north of the federal government, and recently the president gave the leeway or the green light for states to float their own police. How soon are we launching other state police commands? And last month, I raised a question about Okobodi, but it was actually in Talapu. I had to go there yesterday, and I discovered that between Talapu and Okobodi, the state intervention has started, Your Excellency.
Can you conclude, please?
So I've asked my question. I'm just commending the governor for this.
Thank you very much. Let's give another person another opportunity. Thank you, sir. Please, let's hear from the people.
Come, please, give me the mic.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Leonard Okachi from News Agency of Nigeria. Your Excellency, first of all, I must commend you for the ongoing projects, federal projects in Abia that the state is involved in. Particularly the one I visited recently, that is the Ikotek Road. And I saw the contractor there, but I thought two contractors, the one for the federal government and that of the state. But I was meant to understand that the federal government had just a portion to complete. My Excellency, my question on that is, how do we handle the issue of reimbursement? Will the state be reimbursed after the work being done there? Secondly, the issue of compensation, because I know that one of the problems on that road for long is compensation. Now that the state government has taken over, how do you handle compensation for those structures that are affected? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Next person. Yes.
Bring the microphone to the man on white.
The man on white.
Yes, the man standing. Thank you.
His Excellency, good evening, sir. My name is Daniel Madawu. I work with Daily Post. Sir, is coming as an observation. Abia State Football Association headquarters, located off Simbas Road in Umuahia. I saw that that place has been for demolition, maybe for the construction of a housing estate. While I commend the state government's effort in providing housing for the citizens, I want to draw your attention to what happened in that building. That building was constructed during the previous administration, immediate past administration, and my investigation showed that it was built with state funds in collaboration with a countable fund. But unfortunately, His Excellency, that building was never utilized. Since 5 years ago till now, that building was abandoned, taken over by reptiles. And the further investigation again showed that the crisis.
So we give the microphone to someone else. We're trying to manage our time.
Please allow me. The crisis in Abia State Football Association contributed to it. Please, sir, I want to appeal to your administration to ensure that.
Thank you very much. Can you hand up to the man seated here? Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Excellency, good evening, sir. Your Excellency, I'm Chief Journalist, Your Excellency, let me thank you for what happened today in United States University. Where you offer all first-class graduates automatic scholarship to masters and PhD level. Your Excellency, this was one of the reasons why I had to tell my second daughter you must go and school in Absalom. Your Excellency, Your Excellency, my first daughter school and graduated at Abia University. I saw the transformation that was going on in Abia, so it was good here. And later wonder what is happening there is gladdens my heart.
Please straight to the point, sir.
Congratulations, Your Excellency. I'm coming, my friend. Your Excellency, sir. And I want to ask President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has given a directive to all his political appointees that at the first of this month, those who have political ambition should resign. Governor of Kano State also follows suit. When are you going to give directives to those who are working with you, who have political ambition?
Thank you. Thank you. And that is all for praise. Over to you, Your Excellency.
All right. I think I should start with the question from chief journalist. I'd like to start by thanking you for the commendation and the scholarship to first-class graduates of the Abia State University, which was pronounced today, up to doctorate level, subject to them accepting the offer of graduate assistant, which was given to them. I think that is the way to go. That's also a way to ensure that the university keeps moving in the right direction. Thank you for your recommendation. Your question is about appointees with political ambition. Yes, President Tinubu has issued his own instruction, and one or two other governors have done so. we have not done so. At the appropriate time, we will do it. Now, the first question was about state police in Abia. We are getting ready. We do have a new general manager for Homeland Security, Colonel Boko, retired, and is working with other members of his team to get us ready once the whistle is blown. So we are on top of that. Leonard Okachi, thank you for your commendation on taking up roads that are ordinarily federal roads. The reason we do it is that the federal government does not use any road here. So whether they are called federal roads, state roads, or local government roads, these are people that use them. So before we jump on any federal road, we have long engagements with the federal government. And those roads must be ceded to us in writing. So if you have one part of the road being done by another contractor, it means that the federal government wants that contractor to complete that part of the job. And then the remaining part, which naturally is the bigger part, is the one that is ceded to the state government. Your question is about reimbursement and compensation. The policy of the federal government is not to reimburse and that's why some time ago when I saw some people speaking ignorantly about reimbursement, I sympathize with them because they should know. So maybe the letter from the Honorable Minister of Works specifies that if you need to collect your money back, the only way you can do that is to tow the roads. So reimbursement is out of it. Then you asked about compensation. We always get compensation in any road we are entering. But then my understanding is that if there is any compensation to be paid, that the federal government should have done so. Because the road was actually awarded but was not funded. So that's my understanding. I can't be too sure. Maybe you know better. Daniel Madwabu, you asked a question about Abia Football Association. Quite frankly, I'm not aware of the abandoned building which was erected by the previous administration. They did that as a main. We have designated that place as an estate, housing estate. So the building will go down. And if the association requires accommodation, they will go through the Honorable Commissioner for Youth and Sports and will consider the application. I guess that's about it. Over to you, moderators.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Let's also remind you that this broadcast has been aired live on BCA 88.1 FM, Flow 94.9 FM, Family Love 99.9, Magic 102.9 FM, Vision Africa 104.1 FM, Aimba 94.3 FM, 99.1 FM, Sun 91.3 FM, Iberi, Sun 91.9 FM Abia.
And also on Zeke 96.3 FM, Speed 95.3 FM, Rapid 96.5 FM, Peseta 103.5 FM, Boss 89.7 FM, Masters 105.9 FM, Top 103.7 FM, and Skills 87.7 FM.
Also streaming on major online platforms. Remember to send your SMS to 0907 462 1067. 0907 462 1067. As we take the next set of questions from the television. Okay, you first, then over to you, Lita. Thank you.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Grace Dorcas Onyekachi, reporting for Rapid TV. Your Excellency, sir, your 2026 budget of acceleration depends on 409 billion naira loan, and your energy plans requires detaching from the national grid amid federal orders. We would like to know if Netherlands power talks are delayed, or if the projected 223 billion internal revenue falls short, what essential health and educational projects will be safeguarded? And how do you intend to prevent Abia from slipping into a debt trap like the one you inherited, sir? Thank you so much.
Emmanuel Mazu.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Emmanuel Mazu. My question is similar to hers, but I have another perspective to it. It's about the announcement you made on Abia's plan to, detach from the national grid. And I want to be asking from the perspective of the entrepreneurs, looking at our businessmen and their counterparts in why. And I would want to ask Your Excellency, will Abia State government subsidize electricity for the business community, especially in the spirit of ease of doing business? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, Mr. Collins.
Good evening, Your Excellency. I'm Mary Mitchell from Alpha TV. Alright, Your Excellency, I commend you on visible transformation across Abia State. However, residents in Umuahia and Abia State are concerned about the rising cost of house rent. And I wonder, could this be an unintended effect of the development we are seeing? And what's the administration doing about the rising cost of house rent? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. It's over to you, sir, Your Excellency.
All right, Mary, right? Right? Mary Little. Mary Little. Where are you from? And what does Little mean? Hey, all right. So I want to start with Mary Little's comment. First of all, I'd like to thank you for the commendations. I'm happy that your question is about house rent increase in Umuahia and not in Idu. Well, I don't know if I would say it's a good problem to have. Why versus it means that more houses will be built. The law of demand and supply. And it is also that law that is giving rise to high and increasing rent. Once demand outstrips supply, conventional economics will tell you that something will rise. What is that? Price. And price in this case is rent. And prices will rise up to a level that people will now flood the market with houses, which will eventually bring down rent again. So that is the way the interaction of demand and supply works. So anytime that government intervenes, government distorts that interaction. I don't know if I've answered your question. So what has happened is that more people are coming in looking for houses, and the houses that exist are coming under pressure. So if you move around, you will see that new houses are also coming up. And those new houses will probably be taken up by new people that are coming in. It gets to a point where an equilibrium would be reached, and stability will become the order of the day. We are also flagging off a few housing estates to increase the supply of houses. So like one that somebody talked about is a housing estate by the government, and a few others will come on stream very, very soon. So Grace Onyekachi, your question is very good, and I'm happy that you read the budget. There's actually no, it's not a problem to borrow once you are deploying the loan to reasonable projects. So it's better that you borrow and build a hotel that people will patronize, make the money back, and pay back the loan. Meanwhile, the hotel stays there. So here, the problem arises is when you borrow to finance consumption, something you just eat and then it goes. So I can assure you that if we have to borrow, and of course we will borrow, this is the first time we are building loan into our project 3. So we will borrow, and we are already in the process. The ABSEED loan is a loan. And a few other. So it's going to be loans that are reasonably priced and long-term in nature, so that it doesn't choke us. And we are also very hopeful that we are going to be able to generate the revenue that we have worked into the budget. So I don't think we should lose any breath. The economy is in safe hands, and the people piloting the economy are experts. If it becomes unreasonable not to borrow, we will not borrow. But for us, like you rightly said, to deliver on our promises, 35% of that budget goes into education and health. I'm not too sure that happened in the state before our time. So it's a way to deploy your money, and you see that your money is where your mouth is, and your mouth is where your money is. Okay? I don't know if I answered your question. All right, thank you. Emmanuel, once you are talking about the national grid, and you know that Abia and the remaining 7 local governments, meaning 9 local governments, have already detached from the national grid. So we are talking about the remaining 8 local governments. And if we are able to generate enough power from the existing independent power company, We don't need to build one in Umuahia. Neither do we need to end the national grid. Just a short distance to wheel power into Umuahia and embarrass. Okay, so I think it was 2 days ago that I was announcing that the Honorable Commissioner for Power and Public Utilities has identified a GE turbine in the Netherlands that been used for 500 hours, so it's practically new. And I think by now he would have put them in touch with your nation. And the good thing about that turbine is that it's multiple times each turbine that Geometric is using at the moment. They have 3 turbines, each maximum capacity is 47 megawatts. So the one that was found in the Netherlands is 125 megawatts, one turbine. So if you can install it there with the gas pipeline in there, so that means Umuahia doesn't require more than 100 megawatts. So you even have excess power to sell to somebody else. That is the way it goes. Now, your question is about subsidy. And is the foundation of the question is an assumption that is wrong. That assumption is that it is cheaper for people in Umuahia today to continue to feed from the national grid. That's the assumption. It's the wrong assumption, because you are not factoring in darkness. You are not factoring in the cost of diesel when you have to fire your generator. If you factor those in, you will find that it's actually cheaper to have 24-hour power that you pay for, and you don't need to buy a generator, and that you need to buy diesel. So if you are comparing apples and oranges, you will always come to this kind of conclusion. The direct answer to you is that the government will not subsidize, because there's really nothing to subsidize, since if you look at just the cost of darkness alone, if you put naira and kobo to it, it's also part of the cost of electricity. Am I making sense? Thank you. I'm happy you agree. I guess that's about it. Next one.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Move to the next platform online.
Thank you. Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Promise Osomokoro PO. Your Excellency, I want to start on a lighter note by commending the kind of work you have done in this back road. Your Excellency, just recently I discovered that it was the UCDA that handled that work. Funny enough, some of us didn't know that UCDA can actually be empowered to do such a massive work which has lifted the face of Umuahia capital city. I want to commend you because some of us have received calls from people who are not from Abia. Once they enter into this street, that is the road that they pass through into the city. Your Excellency, on the 13th of January 2026, your administration constituted a 7-man administrative panel of inquiry into the Okon Ako or Hafia community crisis. Your Excellency, that panel was given, among other references, to identify the remote and immediate causes of the crisis, to identify individual or groups directly or indirectly involved in the escalation of that crisis. Your Excellency, the panel was given a 30 days time frame to conclude its report and and submit. Your Excellency, today is 27th day of March. Tentatively, this is 73 days since that panel was constituted, which means that their time frame has elapsed. In view of this, Your Excellency, I want to ask, have you received that report? And in line with public interest, can you make the report public? If you have, Your Excellency, can you please tell us why the report has not been submitted? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Next person, please.
Your Excellency, good evening. My name is Eminiki Rubu. I write for All Facts newspaper. Your Excellency, my question is very simple. At the emergence of you as governor of Abia State, we used to have what we call APPP or PDAPC, those kind of collabo. Your Excellency, recently, the Honorable Member representing Isialongwa North and South Federal Constituency was at an event in Benin, and he made it public that the governor would not oppose the second term bid of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I want to know, Your Excellency, would that be an ABCLP or LPAPC?
Thank you very much. One more question before the microphone over to Your Excellency. Okay.
All right, thank you. PU, thank you for your question. And first of all, thank you for your commendation on Bank Road. Your question is about Alcon. The answer is that I have not received the report, and we did not receive the report because the panel had not completed its work. We found that the 30 days was too short, and we had to extend it by 60 days. So they are still within the time frame. Even when they complete the report, there is also another report coming from the Inspector General of Police, and we would like to harmonize the report from the Inspector General of Police. Information I got 2 days ago is that they are also concluding their own reports. So I guess that answers the question. Thank you for your question on AP, PDP, and PDAPC. And when people start by, oh, my question is very simple. And the next thing to ask is, if it's simple, why don't you answer it? So everybody can answer this question for us if it's actually simple. All right, so the Honorable Member Ginger Onsibe spoke in Bende, and what he said is correct. I'm not in a position to oppose the candidacy of the President. I am not running for President. So why would I oppose his presidency? His second term. I'm also seeking second term. So will it be appropriate for me to rationalize mine and say somebody else should not have this? So it has nothing to do with LPAPDC or whatever you call it. It's a natural thing. Again, sometimes people, when they want to claim opposition, try to heat up the system by creating in their imagination problems that do not exist. Once you are in a government, is the federal government, is the subnationals, and there is the local government. I've always said that is, in principle, one and the same government. I sit at every National Economic Council meeting. I may not agree with everything, but once a decision has been taken, I have to go by it. That is how democracy works. Democracy is government of the people, for the people, and by the people. Majority of the people must have their way, and the minority will have its way. So sometimes some of the problems that people are trying to create is because they don't understand or they have interests that are beyond the interest of the people. Those interests that we call selfish interests. When they begin to push selfish interests, they come up with narratives that cannot stand scrutiny. So, Emenike, I don't know if I've answered your question. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. We move over to the SMS, and I have this one. It says, "Good evening, Your Excellency, sir. May God Almighty continually guide you. Please, sir, use your good office to look into the degradation and segregation method on the Secondary Education Management Board, Ministry of Education. We are the last to receive our salary. We have not received our leave allowance, while our suburb have received. Please, my God-given governor, fix this segregation and negligence method on SEMB. Thank you, sir, for your consideration from Wachuku Emmanuel." And the next one says, "Good evening, sir. I have been following your media discussion from the very first onset, seeing your developmental impact. Besides that, I have a question about the package of pensioners whom, as of last November, you said that your government has synergized with the Pensioners Association, promising this year that gratuity will be paid. Ever since, it is likely that what is your government saying? This is coming from Greg from Abia. Go ahead.
All right, Your Excellency, we have this SMS coming from Shoma Egege from Umwambara, Umaya South. It says, "Sir, is there hope to revitalize ceramics Umwaya and look into retired and disengaged workers since 1996? A question from Kruma Egege. And also have this one from Izuchuku Onika, all the way from Germany. He said, "I would like to ask about why we still have open gutters, as they are unnecessary in modern times."
Can we take more? It's over to Your Excellency.
All right, thank you. Wachuku Emmanuel. Segregation and degradation of SEMB vis-a-vis ASUGA, your leave allowance and other emoluments come last. This is news to me. Everybody, to the best of my knowledge, receive their payment on the 28th of every month. So, SSG, please, can you take note and investigate this? And please let me know. And also let the anchors know so they can communicate to Wachuku Emmanuel. The second one is from Greg, who lives in Abia, talking about gratuity payment. I had announced that from this year that we will start paying the gratuity of over 61 billion. The year has just started, so we will start the payment this year. We have a schedule and we keep to it. Shirma Egeke. Yes, on ceramics someone had. We have appointed, initially we wanted to resolve it the way we normally resolve our things, but we found that the investors in ceramics had claims that did not look very reasonable to us. So we have appointed, I believe, KPMG to do a forensic audit, and they must get back to us any moment from now. From there, we can now move until that audit is concluded and we have a report. We cannot even say anything about it. I'm not sure what will happen to the workers because they were not government workers. Ceramics, as far as I know, was handed over to a private investor who didn't run it well. Is it Chukwuemeka from Germany? I can understand the question about open gutters, and maybe you don't have them in Germany, but then in Africa we have open gutters, and the logic is simple. You know, it's very cold in Germany. Here it's very hot, so the water needs to breathe. Because if we close the gutters, the heat may even begin to spoil the roads. All right, so we are still moving. The important thing is that we have gutters now, and whenever it rains, the rain does not take over the road, but goes to the gutters. When we chop the food, then we can now begin to close the gutters. But I think some of them are closed, like the one on Abians March is closed, even though sometimes we still get people trying to vandalize it. But all said and done, we are getting there. So I think that's about it. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to let the moderator know that I will take no more questions because it's too tired. Do you agree with me? Yeah. All right. So let me turn it over to them to say hello to God before my final comments.
Okay, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, Excellency. Thank you very much to everyone for participating in this month's Abians March, government officials. Thank you very much for everywhere you're watching from or listening from. We appreciate you so much. My name is Joy Notary of Dawn 103.7 FM, and I am called with
Henry Oyewife on Speed 95.3 FM.
It's over to you now, Your Excellency.
Your closing remarks, sir.
All right, thank you, Joy and Henry, for being fantastic moderators. Let me also thank the gentlemen of the press for your questions and for participating actively. I also like to thank our brothers and sisters, our fathers and mothers who joined us remotely from the comfort of their homes. Thank you for participating. A few more things that I didn't talk about earlier. The Tech Rise version 3 is about to take off. books. I think the portal has opened. I think applications have already been got. So please do apply. That we benefit from the training. It is free of charge. And in the first 2 cohorts, every participant went home with a laptop free of charge. And a lot of them who trained in the last 2 cohorts already got one way or the other, some of them internationally, remotely. I want to say that it's a project that I'm very proud of. I also like to inform us that before the middle of the year, that we will have the entire state covered by at minimum 3G network, the entire state. So we engaged with one of the telecommunications companies, supported them, and we have started the process of ensuring that everywhere in the state is covered by a minimum 3G network. And it's important so that you can in your villages and do what you want to do without necessarily coming into town or anywhere there's coverage. We also, within the period, started collecting fares for the electric buses. And that started from the first day of this month. Reports available saying it's doing very well. Emmanuel Wazwe, that is the place where we had introduced subsidy, because we are charging less than 50% of what commercial operators charge. And the next set of buses, about 30 of them next month. I wish you happy Easter in advance. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Excellency, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being part of this edition of the Monthly Chats. This is where we draw the curtain of this edition. The national temples.
Obodo Chukwu Abia